Reason number 1. All X-Men movies have an intro that ends with the CEREBRO image, which is symbolic because it means you're about to get your mind blown. Reason number 2. All X-Men movies really don't care about continuity, which is why they recast mutants, and I'm not even talking about the times it had to do with the character aging. For example, Pyro was played by a different guy in X-Men 1. Jubilee is played by 3 different actresses in X-Men 1, 2, and Apocalypse. Kitty is played by 3 different actors in the franchise. Dr. Hank McCoy is played by Steve Bassick in X2, and Kelsey Grammer in The Last Stand in Days of Future Past. Apocalypse is played by 2 different actors in the Days of Future Past after credits scene and in the beginning of X-Men Apocalypse. And there's also 2 different actresses who star as Psylocke in these 2 movies. Reason number 3. All X-Men movies have at least 2 characters with telepathic powers. Professor X is always the first one, but there's always somebody else too. Like Jean Grey, Jason Stryker, Psylocke, and Phoenix. And there's 2 Professor X's in this movie. Reason number 4. All X-Men movies have a guy that could heal super fast. Wolverine, obviously. The guy that was beating down Wolverine in The Last Stand. Lady Deathstrike. And the mutant Oscar Isaac played before his consciousness was taken over by Apocalypse. Reason number 5. Hugh Jackman is the only actor to appear in all X-Men movies, even if you want to technically count Deadpool. Reason number 6. All X-Men movies have mutants fighting for their civil rights, but it's understandable why the government wants them extinct because there's always an assassination attempt on a high-ranking government official by a mutant.
Thought you were a diplomat.
When you take the I out of assassination, you're just an ass to the nation pretty much. Reason number 7. All X-Men movies include a subplot of a kid being the key. Stryker's son is the key to Stryker's plan. The boy is the key to the cure. Quicksilver is the key to getting his daddy out of prison. And Jean Grey's Phoenix is the key to defeating Apocalypse. Reason number 8. You get a Roland Emmerich vibe in all X-Men movies because X-Men battles and tourist attractions are like magnets. The White House over here, the Golden Gate Bridge in this one, and the Sydney Opera House in Apocalypse. Speaking of destruction, the Professor Xavier's school for gifted youngsters gets destroyed in every movie. Reason number 10. All X-Men movies contain at least 1 flashback, and the flashback gets its purpose defeated in a later movie when the timeline is all out of whack. Reason number 11. I thought it was weird when Batman and Superman kept doing it in Batman v Superman. But to be fair, all X-Men movies locate their villains by watching news. When they can't find Magneto, the first place they look in all X-Men movies is the news channel. Reason number 12. All X-Men movies include someone's plan to commit genocide. Stryker wants to kill all mutants, which causes Magneto to want to kill all humans in X2. In X3, they develop a cure to erase all mutants. Trask creates Sentinels that will try to kill all mutants and the humans that love them. And in X-Men Apocalypse, the villain wants to destroy the weak, aka 99.9% of the population, so the mighty could inherit the earth. Reason number 13. All X-Men movies involve an X-Men getting kidnapped. Apocalypse kidnaps the Professor, Stryker kidnaps Mystique, Stryker kidnaps some of the students, Professor X gets kidnapped by Stryker, Jean gets kidnapped by Phoenix, who then gets kidnapped by Magneto and the Brotherhood, and all the former X-Men were kidnapped and experimented on by Trask. Reason number 14. I would never pay tuition at a school where I can't learn anything. X-Men movies always have Charles teaching a lesson, and he gets distracted and ends the class early. Jubilee doesn't learn anything because Scott interrupted the class. Kitty Pryde almost transferred when Storm interrupted here. Everybody should ask for their money back when Pyro interrupts this field trip. And in Days of Future Past,
Logan, don't you have a class to teach?
The history professor skips class, and nobody, including Logan, learns anything that happened between 1973 and 2016.
Pretty much everything after 1973.
Reason number 15. All X-Men movies have a homewrecker that's trying to sabotage a relationship and getting someone to cheat on their significant other. Wolverine all the time, Mystique, and Kitty Pryde. Reason number 16. All X-Men movies are the same because mutants are the same. There's a clone in every movie. Obviously, when you have Mystique, you'll get to a something somehow. But there's 2 Professor X's in Days of Future Past and the clone guy from The Last Stand. Reason number 17. There's always a mutant that runs away from home in all X-Men movies. All the mutants have to run away over here. Over here, Scott runs away from home, and it's weird because he's a grown man and shouldn't have to ask for permission. Everybody runs away from home except Beast and Professor X in Days of Future Past, and Magneto tries to run away before it's too late, but oops, it's too late. Reason number 18. In all X-Men movies, it doesn't matter if he's paralyzed or not, Professor X finds a way to stand up anyway. He's standing in X2 because he's not that heavy when they have to carry him. He's standing in Apocalypse when he co-stars in Apocalypse's dream sequence. He stands in Days of Future Past because of drugs. And he stands for the last time right before Jean Grey kills him, which is ironic since the movie is titled The Last Stand. Boom boom. Reason number 19. All X-Men movies have a Grand Theft Auto scene. Cyclops steals one of the professor's cars. Wolverine steals Cyclops' vehicle twice. And he steals the Buick with the You Lucky license plate in Days of Future Past. Magneto breaks the Gone in 60-second records when he steals the piece of the Golden Gate Bridge and all the cars on it. Only thing is, he doesn't drive them, but him and Pyro use the cars to kill people. Reason number 20. In all X-Men movies, powers are no match for two titties and a smile. There's always an evil woman with an evil plan who uses their beauty to knock a man who stands in their way unconscious. Reason number 21. There's always a recruiter character who's putting a team together, and the recruiter character always gets 4 mutants to hurt some humans. In X2, Magneto recruited Mystique, but his plan was pointless until he indirectly recruited Pyro, Professor X, and Stryker's son to hurt all humans. Magneto has Pyro and the other 3 mutants that hurt the humans who work at the cure place. Wolverine recruits Professor X, Magneto, Beast, and Quicksilver hurts the humans who work at the Pentagon. Apocalypse recruits the 4 Horsemen, and then Magneto hurts a lot of people and then hurts Professor X's feelings. Reason number 22. All X-Men movies has an explanation for someone's hair color change when it's not even needed, and it's way easier to just say he or she dyed their hair. In X2, Rogue has a white streak because of the power from Magneto's machine in X-Men Part 1. Mystique's hair is blonde here, but after she gets hit with the cure, it changes to black. Storm's power is enhanced by Apocalypse, and that explains her white hair. Logan's hair wasn't gray in the Wolverine movie, but they make his future hair gray so you can know the difference between 1973 Logan and present day Logan. Reason number 23. All characters that die in X-Men movies don't die. Toad dies, but a younger Toad is shown in X-Men Days of Future Past, and Bryan Singer erases the timeline of X-Men 1, so he probably never got killed by Storm. Jean dies in X-Men 2, but the Phoenix brought her back to life for The Last Stand, and the time traveling brings her back in Days of Future Past. A 26-year-old Psylocke died in The Last Stand, but then a 36-year-old Psylocke appears in Apocalypse. Everybody dies over and over here, but Kitty's power keeps canceling out their Judgment Day. And Professor X dies on The Last Stand, but it shows how he cheats death in the after credits scene. Reason number 24. Trailers for X-Men movies always lie like a mother on Maury. The trailers make you think the secret weapons are going to kill so many people, but so many people don't die. The Sentinels from the trailer don't hurt anybody because all the humans evacuated. Stryker's machine only gives people a 2-minute headache. The nuclear weapons in Apocalypse are irrelevant, and the only people that die from the Phoenix are the same people that don't die in Days of Future Past. And nobody dies from the cure, and even worse, nobody even gets cured from the cure, to be honest. Those are 24 reasons these movies are the same. You agree? Yes, no, maybe so. If not, politely share your thoughts in the comment section below and click the subscribe button for more 24 reason videos.
Best elevator music I've ever heard.